everybody, and welcome to my channel. Today we're getting started on Abby's Sunshine and Sunflowers junk journal. I'm doing this for her birthday, Christmas, I'm not sure yet. So of course it's going to be sunflowers everywhere, and I just feel like sunshine just comes right through sunflowers, so let's just do this. So this is what I have picked out. I'm going to do a small one. Oops. This is a Rice-A-Roni, and it's got the small spine. There's going to be 2 signatures. So this is going to be my front, and this is going to be the inside. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We'll do that first. All right, I think I'm going to do, let's see. Make sure everything's kosher here. I'm going to fold it in. But what I want to do is I want to take my, where is it? Here it is. I want to take this and I want to sort of lay it where I can sort of score. This will make sense in a minute. What did I do with my score tool? There it is. And scoot it just a little bit. I want to sort of score down through here because I think it makes it, if I can keep the thing straight. Good gracious. Today's been a day, is all I'm going to say. It's Friday and I'm glad of it. If you do score like that, I'll show you how to fix it in just a second. You just basically flip it over. And if you have a little mark right there, you can just go like that, flatten it right back down, and then when you glue it down, it's not going to matter. But I wanted to have these lines sort of lined up so that when I go to fold it, it's nice and straight. Not that that's going to be straight. We can already see that that's going to be crooked, but we can fix it. There we go. I just wanted to sort of get a, that'll work. This will make sense here in a minute. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to fold this up. I think the thing I need to do is get my this straight. So let's get my, what do I want to use? Let's just use this because it's, let's get this completely straight, shall we? Well, you can tell that it's, now let's see if it's any better. That's good and straight. And what I'm going to do is break the rules, and I'm just going to fold that up, and then I'm going to varnish it really, really good. Let's get all this out of the way. Okay. See, I just flattened out what I had already done. Get that good and straight. Okay. I'm making this a lot harder than it is, really. So now I'm going to try. There we go. And we're just going to do one end at a time because I want to make sure I'm getting it in here. I want to wrap it around, and the reason I want to wrap it around, that's not off by too much. I did pretty good on that. It's because I think it's going to make it prettier because I want to inset the brown. If that makes any sense to you guys at all. There's that. Then you take this out. You open all this back up. you take your scissors and we're going to cut away. I'm not going to go all the way to the corner, just close to it. Okay. A little bit more on that one. I think I got a little bit of wiggle room, so it really doesn't matter. Okay. So now we are going to put our thing in here, and it's going to make sense here in just a second. We're going to fold these in. Okay. So let's get started with this part and see how it goes. I'm just going to glue this piece down first. Try to make sure everything's sort of lined up before we get started. Yep. And I'll scooch this down just a hair. I'll take my bone folder and I'm going to mash that down, burnish that really, really good. Then I'm going to do this side. I don't want any puckering. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to, before I get myself all locked in here, I did a cover on a 3-ring binder. I think I had showed you all that 3-ring binder in another video. It was like an old home health binder of Mom's. And I thought, I can use these. I hate to just throw them out. So I just, you know, I'm going to shred all the stuff that's in there. And then I covered it. And it really turned out pretty good. So I thought that would just be something nice rather than to totally waste, you know, a 3-ring binder like that. Make sure you burnish that down really good. Now, one thing I have learned, when this glue is wet and not completely cured and dried, if you go to try to start bending everything, you're going to have a problem. Because it will crack your paper. I will let you know that right now. So just buyer beware. I mean, you can do it if you're in a big fat hurry, but I don't recommend it because I've done it because I've been in a big fat hurry. And guess what? I have all kinds of cracks in my paper, and then you have to use, you know, 5 gallons of distress ink to try to get it to cover up. And I'm not going to all that trouble. So what we're going to do, and it will start to bow a little bit because it's wet, but it will straighten out. And if it's not straight enough for you once it dries, put it under a big heavy book and that'll straighten it right out. I don't have trouble with anything like that. Okay, I'm going to fold this one down. And I just think that makes for really pretty corners. Get those good and flat. And see how pretty and flat those are? Okay, I got a little edge right there. I'm just going to nip. I may have to. Got to be really there. Perfect. Perfecto. All right, let's do this last one. That's not exactly there. Don't want it to be too wonk. I'm going to do this last one, and our cover is going to be, or the outside is going to be down. Now I do have embellishments that I'll do on my cover, and that's not going to happen today because we're just getting started. Next thing I'm going to show you here is putting on, while this is drying really good, I'm going to show you guys how I set up my signatures. Now look at how nicely that turned out. I think that is a nice job. I wish this one was a little bit more like this, but you know what? That's okay because you can cover it up with this. It's not going to matter, so let's get our scraps out of the way. Pick that up, and I'm going to show you the signatures while I let this dry, okay? I took some papers that I thought matched. This is a heavier cardstock. Put this over here, and then here it is. I got cardstock in different colors, stuff like this that I felt like would be complimentary. So what I did was I took that and I cut it down where I felt like when I put this in here, it's going to look nice, because this is going to be in here like so, and then you're going to have another signature in here beside of it. And when you get ready to fold it up and you start putting stuff in it, it'll come out perfectly even. So I don't want to show you right this moment because this is still drying, but you get my point. Okay, so let's go ahead. So I cut this down to the size that I felt like would look nice. I went by the edge of this, even though these are going to be in the center. These are going to be put in the center because I wanted to be able to have enough edge right there. So I cut that down, my sturdier piece, and then I got this set from Miss Liz because she is awesome. And it's a little, one of the reasons I wanted to do it this small is because this is already made. Of course, the other side is white, and that's okay because we can edge it, and the whole point is for her to journal in it. So I've already rounded my corners in the medium on this. This is the greatest corner rounder I think I have ever found. It's on my Amazon storefront if you're interested. I do get a little bit of commission, and it collects all your little corners. If you do buy from me, it doesn't cost you any extra money, but it gives me a few pennies. All right, so let's go ahead. I've already got these in the order that I want them. So I'm just laying them like inside of each other, like so. So I'm going to lay those like that, and I'm going to go ahead and corner round these. And when I get finished corner rounding them, we are going to do another set. And what I'm going to do with that set is I'm going to do a comparison and make sure they're pretty right on the money. Going to have to cut this one down just a little bit. That looks like. I'll go ahead and take that edge off because I know y'all don't want to watch me corner round. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of that edge off. And we'll get our signatures all ready to go. Just a smidge. All right. Go ahead and do this on medium. This is about full, so I think that's why it's not wanting to. When it gets full, yeah, it's plumb full. It'll get pieces hung in it, and then it won't want to cut right. There we go. I love that it has the little collector on here. So I actually think that my book, is the medium, is the large. I used the large on this and the medium on the pages. Sorry, I didn't want to. There we go. So I think we have this about, yeah. That is great. It's a little off right there. So what I can do, I think I'm going to leave it because by the time I put stuff in it, it's not going to make a difference anyway. So we've got that cover and this cover. These are going to be the front and the first and the second journal. So that's going to be the covers that they're going to have. And I mean, I've got all kinds of extra if I need more reinforcement. So I'm going to put this with this one, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you lay your stuff the right way, because we already know from a past video what happens if you don't. So I'm going to go ahead and round my corners and ink everything, and I'll be right back. Back, everybody. Okay, I've got the signatures all nice and ready to go. So what I decided to do here is I've got my 2 covers for each signature, and I want to have some. I only have 8 pages of this, so I put 4 in one and 4 in the other. I think that might be, once I get everything decorated, that might be enough. I'm not really sure. But what I thought I would do, and all I did was ink inside and out of every sheet. Okay? Super simple. All the corners are edged. All the corners are punched. These are the large, these are the medium. Okay, I did large on the outsides and I did medium on the insides. Okay, and my book is approximately, helps if you measure correctly, 9 1/4 by 6 3/4 roughly. Okay, so, and then these ended up being, they should be much smaller. These are 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then the inside parts, because I know somebody will ask, and that's fine, because a lot of people want to duplicate what you're doing, and that is very flattering to me. This is 7 almost 3/4 by 5 3/4. So there you go. There's your measurements. So like I said, always make sure before you get ready to put these in your journal that they're all turned the right way, because you'll be very disappointed in yourself when you go, oh, they're upside down. Yeah, not a happy day for you, I'm just saying. So let me make sure these are all correct, and they are. So there's 4 in each. So what we're going to do for additional space is I took another one of these pieces of cardstock that I had, and I just cut out some of these other pages that I was gifted. Are they not gorgeous? Thank you, Liz. And I inked everything. I inked this, and I just glued this down on the top. So like when you're flipping through here, and all these are not going to be even, and I don't care about that, because I'll be having like ruffles and edges. So that will open up like that, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this down, but I'm going to use my glue stick to do that. And I have a glue book somewhere. God help me, I may never find it. Here it is. I try to keep it in one spot. And we're just going to put some glue down. Hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. I'm trying to make the videos where they're easier to follow and not all over the place. Trying to get better at the way I'm putting my videos together, being a little bit better of a tutorial for you guys. Okay, so I didn't exactly get that in there even, and that's okay, because guess what? It's a junk journal, and we can always fix it, cover it up, or do something with it. There, good enough for me. And then what I thought I would do, yes, I had an avalanche, or as Miss Julie would say, a craft avalanche. I know, I watch her all the time, and I absolutely love her personality. And I'm just going to dot down through here to just sort of blend in that edge. a little better. There, I like that. And we can tack that back down in a minute, because here, if this would stop stopping up every 2 seconds, it would be great. It would help if I would put the lid on it, huh? I'm going to take this that I've already cut out to fit the size, and I rounded the corners here, 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 and here. And because these are bigger, they're a 6x6, I'm going to glue this down, but I'm just going to glue it here and here. And that's going to allow me to have a pocket here. And then this will be a flip out where you can write on it. So let's go ahead. I did everything but ink it. Again, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your weekend is starting off good. It's Friday when I'm filming this. This will go up probably tomorrow. I'm trying to do some additional videos. I'm trying to get to jumpstart my channel a little bit because it's tragic. And that's okay. I mean, it can be tragic. I care and I don't care. You know what I mean? Some days I care, other days I don't. So, and if you don't like to ink, don't ink. It's not for everybody. There's some days when I wish I didn't like it so much because it can be quite the pain in the rear end. Oh, because you got to stop and do all this, and that's like when I stopped the video earlier. It's like nobody wants to sit and watch your ink dry, okay? And even a new YouTuber is going to be like, okay, this is seriously boring. I mean, once you've seen somebody ink one tag, you've seen them ink, period. End of story. So there you go. I'm using Vintage Photo. This is Tim Holtz. You can buy other brands. It doesn't matter. Okay. So we got that good and inked. And what I think I'm going to do is punch a little side hole there. And I think I'm going to use this one. And I just use my little hole punch. And I try to get it as even on one side as I do the other. And I don't do very well with this, guys. I really don't. Most of the time, it's seriously crooked. Seriously crooked, folks. But, you know, that's okay. It's a junk journal. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I just wanted that to be, if you put a little punch in there like that, when you open it up, you're very aware that there's a pocket there. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned from Miss E on how she does hers. Now you're just going to do this outside edge. I got a little bit overzealous there with the glue. And when you go to put this down, and if you're using art glitter glue, you better get it down there pretty good the first time. Sort of come in just a little bit like that, pucker it in just a little bit. And that gives you a little bit of extra tuck space there. Yep. Lots of tips from lots of YouTubers. Always give credit where credit's due. So now what we have here, okay, is we have, and it's still got glue, this little page, which you could still write on that. You have your flip out here, and that's just not dark enough for me. I don't think I even inked it. So you can put a tag in there. That's writing space. And then I did not glue this part, but that's okay because we're going to come right down through here. And we're just going to do that. So now we're good and glued. If you got any white showing that you don't want showing, all you have to do is get, this is why so many people ink. It has a lot of imperfections. Yeah, it's not gonna let me move it, but I tried. So I think that's really cute because you can write on this. You got a little tag. Let me see if I have a little tag here. I'm sure I have something so I can show you how cute it's gonna look. Got a little tag here. You can just put in there. You can write. You could write in behind here, 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 here. So you got a lot of little places to write. You could still put like a pocket on here if you wanted to. I think actually what I'm going to do is take some of my, because I don't like the way this looks, and I think I'm going to make sure this is straight, and I think I'm going to put that right down through there, because I think that's really going to offset that since this is already lace. And we're just going to put this right down through here. Don't pull it too tight. Just push it down. There we go. Try to keep it straight, and then I always tilt my scissors this way so it ends up not being too short or too long. And then if you don't like the brightness of that, you can always just get your ink and pat that down a little bit, and there you are. So there we go. We've got a little area here. And I will probably end up putting a little tag, or not a tag, but a little pocket. I've got all kinds of stuff laying here, but I don't think that I have any little tags handy. I don't, and that's fine. I'll probably just put it like a little tuck spot here, or you can take some of your paper that you used earlier, and if you wanted to, this is the wrong direction. That's the wrong direction. My point would be, I would use a different pattern, and you could make a little belly band to go across there, and you could put a tag in there. That would be really cute too. So I'm not going to do that yet. So this gives us some extra for the inside of here. We could even do it, if you wanted, you could do it like that. Doesn't really matter. Okay. I found this in this little thing for the sunflowers that I'm going to embellish the front. It says especially for you. I absolutely love that. And I think that what I'm going to do is cut this just a little bit right there. And I think I'm going to put that right there. I think it's so cute. Love it. Love it. Just found it. I was like, that is so cool. I love that. So now what we're going to do, now that you know how to do your signatures and make extra pages, we're going to go ahead and finish the cover, and then we'll come back in a couple of days for part 2, where we start putting our signatures in and decorating our pages. So now we're going to go ahead and do this. I did go ahead and start bending on it because it was good and dry. I inked it inside and out. So basically what I want to do is have it where you see part of this edge and it be straight. So let's do let's do that. Okay, so we're going to get our paper trimmer or you can use scissors. Doesn't matter. Use what you have. Don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff like most of us do and then wonder why you're broke. Because that's why. All right. Believe me, it's a rabbit hole, people. Listen to the old girl here. She knows what she's talking about. All right. So, oh, I love it. I just think that that's really going to bring out the brown in the sunflowers. Don't know if you agree with that, but I think that looks great. All right. I do think I'm going to take my ruler, if I can do this, and I think I'm going to go down through here. And just put some creases in there. I think that helps when you go to lay your stuff in there. If you've got a little bit of a bend in here already. I mean, I'm just saying, I think it does help. So. You can just take this and bring it up. There we go. Good enough. All right, so we're going to put this back down. And this way, Donna. Okay, we're going to start gluing this down. Okie dokie. I am going to finish up this video. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm really deciding on what do I want to eat. And I keep thinking, oh, I'd like to have some spaghetti or something like that. And I'm thinking, I do not want to pay for spaghetti. Go out and get spaghetti. I just think that is ridiculous. And then I'm thinking, oh, I might just go ahead and do, got some noodle-roni in there. So I might do that. Then I'm going to push this down really good. And we're going to do the same thing right there. Okay. I just really think that really helps. And it's down in there really good. I think we got off just a little bit right here, but that's okay. Because, let's push that down. It's wanting to bubble. Okay, I think we're good. Now we're going to let this dry really good. And anywhere you're off, one thing to always remember, you can cover it with lace. You can cover it with washi. You can cover it with your embellishments. It does not matter if it's not perfect. Because in junk journaling, we cover up everything we mess up. And believe me, people mess up. We may cut it out of our videos, but not always. It's like, you know, I could have been like, oh, I'm starting all over. That's crooked. I'm not doing all that. And most people aren't. You know, the one thing that I did was last week when I went to use those brads, OMG, to do the brad method on putting my signatures in. And I said it right there in the video. I said, never again will I do this. Never. And if I want to try that method again, it definitely will not be on camera. I'm here to tell you, it will not be on camera. Because that, I mean, I had to cut almost an hour. That's how long I sat there and finagled with that. All right, I reinforced my corners there. And we're going to sit and we're going to let that dry really good. And I do think I'll probably do some kind of corners or like some pretty lace. I've got all kinds of lace here that I can use. I could put in, you know, like some pockets here, stuff like that. So that's what that looks like. Plus I need to get some brown, I want to get some brown ribbon, like this kind. Or even some that would be a little bit more stiff, because I want to do some, like some lace edges, and I want it to be ruffly, if that makes sense. Okay. So, what did we accomplish today? And plus I have all these flowers that I'm going to use as well. So we've got our cover, front and side. We're going to let that dry really good. And we got our signature started. This is going to be a 2 signature journal. So these are smaller, and I wanted them smaller intentionally because they're about an inch here extra. And I'm going to have all kinds of little embellishments and stuff, like hidden paper clips and ruffles and stuff like that. And I think I'm actually going to do some brown ruffles. So that stuff will be sticking up out of there, and this will be centered. So when I say to you guys, it's shorter, I'm going to split the difference. And when I get ruffles in here, you're never going to notice it. So that's what we got accomplished so far today. I hope that you enjoyed this little video I put together for you all, getting started on Miss Abby's little junk journal that I'm going to be gifting her for either her birthday coming up or Christmas. I might do it at Christmas because I'm going to be buying her a bunch of makeup here in the next couple days. So stay tuned for part 2, and that's going to be where we are putting in these signatures, and we're going to be doing some ruffle sewing, guys. I'm going to attempt to take you to the sewing machine and show you how I sew ruffles in my journal. So you will not want to miss that video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell so you don't miss any of my content. Thank you so much for being here today. I really have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you did too. Until next time, bye.